Which is less stressful, being on ops,
Ops.
with UKSF?
Ops. Yeah, when stuff goes wrong, that's when you really see him step up, and that's when you sort of like step back a bit and you go, fucking hell, that's why he does that job.
Almost just that military mindset, isn't it? Of, we're out there to kill or be killed, and if the worst happens, the ultimate sacrifice is paid. Like,
Issue we had is we had a green on blue, and yeah, that's unfortunately when we lost Shannon and Dave.
guys, welcome back to another instalment of the Combat Fuel podcast. Today, we are joined by former Royal Marine, UKSF, and owner of Contact Coffee, Luke Dalton. Welcome, Luke. Thank you for your service. Please introduce yourself.
I think you've given me the best one I've ever had, so I think I'll leave it at that. I'll just say I'm Luke Dalton from Cannock. But yeah, I'll go with yours.
Awesome. Where did life start for you then? Have you always been Cannock way?
I have, yeah. Born and bred, Midlands. Yeah, fairly sort of normal upbringing. Nothing crazy. Good family life. Played a lot of sport. Started playing hockey when I was about 6. Sort of went all the way up to sort of under 21 international level. So yeah, sort of always into fitness. And then didn't really have much direction after that. Sort of leaving school, fell into bricklaying, sort of the trades, and just sort of going around being a generic sort of 19-year-old lad, going out, girls, getting in trouble. Nothing overly bad, but yeah, just didn't really have any sort of direction really. Yeah.
Yes. I think it's quite common for a lot of lads that join the military, isn't it? To not really having a lot of direction, but kind of different in the way that parents still together, no drama.
Yeah, so
home.
they split up when I was 16. And again, I'll probably get on stuff like this later, but at the time, sort of 16, sort of semi-understood relationships. It wasn't really probably from what we thought at the time, wasn't really a massive effect on me. But then that's probably did pave the way. I didn't really have a sort of stable home going through sort of 17, 18, 19-year-olds, where that's probably the most important time you need. Granted, you need that when you're growing up, but I think you make a lot of wrong decisions when you're sort of in that mist of girls, alcohol, drugs, sort of, do you know what I mean? Those sort of areas. So that's probably where I did need a little bit grounding, but I was pretty much on my own from leaving there. So I sort of like semi-moved out at my own place between sort of 17, 18 years old. So recipe for disaster, you could say, but grew up quick as well. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, fairly stable upbringing.
Nice. At this point, when you're sort of going out, girls, partying, just living your life,
yeah.
Was there any aspirations to join the military back then?
Nothing really at all. Like I said, I was really into sports. I was into, played a lot of hockey, into my fitness. But with hockey as well, it was quite similar to rugby, sort of rugby mentality. You sort of, without playing down football, but it was quite a gentleman's sport. It was always, you'd have a good scrap on the pitch, but you'd be sitting in and amongst the opposition team. A lot of the clientele that used to play it was obviously a bit more like sort of private schools and stuff. I was sort of the lower end of that scale, being just from Cannock, even though I didn't have a bad upbringing, but was surrounded by that sort of like clientele and those sort of people. So sort of, I had quite a good surrounding of people as I was growing up. So I had a different lifestyle to the average lads that I was sort of hanging around with, sort of away from the sport.
And you reached, say, England level?
Yes, so got to under 21s or under 23s international. So I played the highest level you can in hockey. So essentially equivalent to Premiership football, but in hockey. Obviously being like semi-professional sport, it didn't really mean a thing. still had to play at the end of the game on a Sunday sort of thing. But yeah, that's the sort of level I got to. And so I had that was my grounding really. That was my the one thing that probably kept me on the straight and narrow. I think if I didn't really have hockey and then in the circles that I was sort of in, it could have easily gone west sort of thing, which has led on to the decision why I joined the military, yeah.
Wicked. And any role models while you were growing up? Dad, someone in hockey?
To be fair, yeah, he probably led me on to that. I'm not saying don't get on with my dad, but it was just sort of my dad at the end of the day, and I don't mean that in a sort of downplay it way. Or yeah, I suppose I didn't really been asked that question, but I don't really have any heroes or people like that. I think you're right with the hockey one. To be fair, there was, because I grew up for such a young age and was like one of the best clubs in the UK. all the international level players were there. Like nearly every single playing first team sort of GB or England. So I looked up to them throughout my whole sort of upbringing, really. So yeah, I suppose you could say sort of a lot of hockey players that I sort of looked up to, and like I said, they were good people, had good morals. So yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah,
good guys, well-driven individuals as well to
100%,
be at that level,
and especially because of it being semi-professional, there wasn't ridiculous wages pushing them that sort of way. So yeah, I suppose you're right.
So they had to be
very well driven. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
but you, before anything else happened in your career, it was Royal Marines. Was that your first look at the military, or had you looked at any other branches, Army, RAF?
Well, so yeah, so looking back, again, when all this sort of happened, I left school and sort of bounced between jobs and sort of didn't really know what I was doing. I looked at the Army. I went down to Litchfield, and then got turned away within the first hour or two because they said I was colourblind. So I was like, right, okay, that's it. That's that done. And yeah, sort of that just put that to bed. Didn't really know what I was doing going down there anyway. And I think at the time it was sort of like the naughty kids and the bad lads went to the army sort of thing. So my parents and that weren't really sure or keen on what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing either. Didn't even know what I was doing. And then fast forward sort of two years later, again, where sort of like the sort of partying. I was still playing hockey, but it was going one way or the other. And I knew that wasn't me, realistically. And I wanted to join a sort of a service. I was sort of semi-looking at like police, fire. And I heard an advert for the Navy. And I was like, okay, like that sounds all right. And I just thought, all I wanted to do is do fitness and stuff. So I'll just join the Navy and just carry stuff around boats. Like I literally, knew nothing about the military, like at all. No military ties whatsoever. So I've got into the AFCO, got chatting to the bloke in there, said, I'm looking at joining the Navy. He sort of looked me up and down, asked me what I did. And he was like, have you ever fought the Royal Marines? And I was thinking, that's like movie stars, like sort of like Terminator, do you know what I mean? Like 6 foot tall, like 3 foot wide sort of blokes. Like that's the image I had in my head, Royal Marines. We obviously had a chat and he said, like, you seem really fit, like jump on this pull-up bar. I was like, okay. Like she just walked in off the street and just had me banging pull-ups out and he just went, right, I'll get you on a sort of aptitude thing. And yeah, before I knew it, I came home with the booklet, like sort of went to my mum, showed my mum this and she was like, are you fucking mad? I was like, I don't know.
Cheers, man.
I don't even know what happened, but the only thing I was looking at was like the fitness test because I was like, I can fucking do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
Didn't really think of the bigger picture. I didn't really know what they did. Like I knew nothing about the military. And yeah, that's where my
And how old were you then? This is around 20 years old?
So yeah, about 2021. So yeah, sort of like very sort of looking back now, quite a delicate age, I think, because that's where you can really like essentially fuck your life up or make some good decisions.
And you know, like 9/11 had happened 10 years previous to this.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were kids when it happened.
Yeah.
The war on terror, Iraq, the invasion of Iraq, the Iraq war. Herrick was going on at this point as well, like the early years. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
Was any of that like a draw to you to be like, I want to go and fight? I want to go and...
No, being totally honest, no. Like, obviously, I remember I was on that day. I was riding my bike. I was actually in a sweet shop. That's how young I was, in a sweet shop, and I remember seeing it on like a little TV behind on the sweet shop. And yeah, it was pretty much just it was just sort of noise to me then. Like I said, all I wanted to do was like play hockey as a young kid. So yeah, it didn't really take like sort of interest me at all. Although there was a lad I went to school with, and his brother was in the army. I remember sleeping over at their house when we were sort of like in year 11. Do you know what I mean? Like on a Friday night, I had a few cans of beer from his mum and dad and stuff, and it was always on the news, wasn't it? There was a lot of like live streaming and stuff, and I remember watching it because his brother was in the army, and that was the only thing I really knew about it. But yeah, really just never really looked at the military at all. Just
it was more fair to say it was just, it's a job to do. They do fizz, and I want to get paid to do fizz.
Exactly that. The bricklaying wasn't going that well. We'd hit recession. I was chasing money. Do you know what I mean? As a 21-year-old lad, like my mates were earning 400 or 500 quid. I was only in like 200-300 quid. So it was, I needed a job. I knew I wasn't the type of person that I was potentially moving into. So yeah, it was just like, fuck it, I'll do it.
So it's you've gone away. You're 21 years old.
Yeah.
You've passed your selection to join the Royal Marines.
Yeah.
You've turned up at Lympstone train station, I imagine.
Yeah.
Week 1, day 1.
Yeah. Bright-eyed, bushy tails.
Yeah. Can you remember those feelings that were going through? Like you've rocked up here, like this is the military. Like,
yeah,
welcome.
Yeah, this is it. I think yeah, as a 21-year-old lad and stuff, you sort of your chest's out a little bit. You got a bit of swagger. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, the girls and stuff, and everyone thinks of the bee's knees. And yeah, as soon as you get off that train, you just fucking hell, you're a little boy again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the nerves are going through you like something else. You know what I mean? You're checking the other lads out on the train and stuff. Nervous energy, imposter syndrome, sort of like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm not going to get off this train, sort of thing. And then, yeah, like I said, you don't really. The minute you step off that train, then rabbit in headlights, and before you know it, it's the last day of week 32. You sort of
any regret when you at any point through training were you like, this just isn't for me? Was your character
no, to be honest, no,
pretty plain sailing?
Yeah, it was weird because I actually really enjoyed it. I think it was a challenge, and again, I still think going through that, I still didn't know about the military. Like when I was in Livingston, I was going through it. I was literally just like a blank canvas. I knew nothing about it. I think that's probably good, really, because they really molded me from nothing. I didn't know anyone in the military. I'd never spoken to anybody. I literally had to learn everything from week 1, day 1. So it was new to me. It was exciting. So, I mean, before I was like bricklayer, just sort of going through the motions, going to the same pub every Friday, every Saturday. Do you know what I mean? It was just sort of mega routine. But yeah, it was all new. It was exciting. Like I said, the fitness element, it was a test. Like I really enjoyed the fitness side of it. I saw everything as a fitness test.
Yeah.
And then I probably realistically didn't think, right, at the end of this, I'm potentially going to go here and stuff like that. But yeah, I think after that first 3-4 months, I was like, maybe I sort of asked myself, like, is this what you want? But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed being around the lads from that sort of that sport mentality, the team mentality. Yeah, just I was content with my decision, definitely.
Brilliant stuff. Was there any like highlights in training where you're like that really stood out? It molded you as a person?
Just the fitness, yeah. Like I said, it was more fitness driven for me. So I always aspired to be the best at the fitness stuff, because that was always my sort of.
You passed out as an original?
Yeah, stayed in the same troop. And yeah, like I said, just tried to be the best as I could at all the fitness tests. So I think when everyone goes through it, they say training's hard and stuff. And then I'd always be like, fucking hell, like that session was hard. And some people are like, yeah, but you're the fittest lad. It's like, yeah, it's fine, but I'm doing my best. Do you know what I mean? You could coast it and say that was easy, but I always wanted to do my best on it. So yeah, so the whole fitness element, the sort of the first 9-week gym phase that used to be, I don't know if it's still the same now. And obviously bottom field was like a new thing for me as well, new challenge. But yeah, I just enjoyed the whole side of it. Obviously it's times when it's pissing like weather like this. Yeah. It's like, this is a bit shit, but yeah, in general, I was around the lads and I couldn't really get my head around that I was getting paid for it as well. Because I'd been such, like, especially when you're in a trade, like you've got a graft, and if you're not moving or doing anything for like a minute, you're not getting paid. You're not laying a brick, you're not getting paid like 12p per brick and stuff. So for me, it was like sort of like the half days you sat in the classroom. So I was like, fucking hell, lads, we're getting paid for this. I think that was the difference in training from lads who have got life experience and done a bit on the outside compared to lads that are sort of like straight out of school. Yeah. I think just by having that sort of 3 years of making mistakes, having a real job, so to speak, living in the real world, like really helps. I think that's what you get in the core as well. You'll get an older sort of person joining, and naturally you get a sort of higher caliber of bloke as well. I think that helps, definitely.
So you said Fizz wasn't, dare I say it, not that challenge, but you always put your best in.
Yeah.
That final 30 mile of them, how was that?
I just can't believe 30 mile. It was just, I'm not going to play it down, but you've done all that. 30 mile was just like, it's just
a long walk.
Basically, yeah. But like everyone's fucked. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? And realistically, compared to all the other tests and stuff, it's like, you're going to do 30 mile. When you break it down, you compare it to all the other exercises and stuff. It's like, and I didn't see that as one of the harder ones. Like, do you know what I mean? The sort of like the 10-day exercises, 9-day exercises. Yeah. They're the graft. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking just walking. Yeah. You haven't got to check a knee. You haven't got to look anywhere. Yeah. You literally got to put a bag on, chat to your mates and just fucking walk. And you know what's at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? That's what's driving you.
Did anybody drop out?
I don't think so. No, not that I can remember. No, we were a pretty solid troop, to be fair, especially where we finished. No, I don't think we did.
And how many made it from start of training to the end as an original?
I think it's about 60 that started the troop in the corps. I don't know, mate. I want to say 24, 26 maybe. I'm not sure.
So you got an attrition rate of over 50%.
Yeah, it might be even more than that. But yeah, we had a really solid troop. There's some really, really good blokes in there. Really, really good.
So did you get fittest recruit?
I did, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted. So that was my aim. So it wasn't like,
Yeah.
well, I get to the end, get a green lid. I was like, oh, I want to win that fitness test.
Yeah. So you weren't like, Royal Marines are renowned for their fitness. So you weren't just a fit bloke that passed Royal Marine training. You were the fittest guy to pass out of your troop.
Yeah, I was.
Marines,
but that was my aim. I got on quite well as you can with like the PTI.
Pretty big accolade that, and sets you up well for
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I was fit before I joined. I'm not saying that's why, but like I had a good base level fitness. When some lads are literally like, I'm going to join the Royal Marines, I'm going to start going to the gym for a month before. I had a good base level, really.
Sterling mindset to crack on and achieve it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we passed out of training, 32 weeks at Livingston.
Yep.
And a lot of people may look at it and think, oh, training's done, that's finished.
Yep.
Cheers, now it's just to your unit and done.
Yeah.
That then really is the start of your career, isn't it?
That's where
that's where the real graft now starts, isn't it? So where did you go after Livingston?
So luckily, I went straight to commando unit, so 40, down in Taunton. During my training, I got pinged by one of the PTIs because my hockey passed. So obviously because of the level I played. There's a few Marines in the PTIs that played sort of Navy and Royal Marine level. So me coming into the court at that level of hockey was like really, really good. So they were just fucking eyeing me the whole way. And they're literally saying like, the minute you pass out, you're playing for us. And he'd eyed me up and said like, there's a game at the weekend. So we passed out on like the Thursday. And there was a Navy hockey game on the Monday. And he was like, "You fucking playing in that game?" so my first job after being officially a bootneck was playing hockey. So I turned up to the unit sort of 2 days late. So I've gone down to Portsmouth, played hockey again. I was like, "Fuck me, I'm getting paid for this. This is fucking class." And I was like, "Oh, maybe I could just do this." Like, I didn't know about what the work I actually had to do. So yeah, I've rocked up to the unit about 2-3 days late and done my joining routine, and some blokes gone like, why don't you turn up with everyone on Monday? I was like, I was playing hockey. It's fucking like typical like sergeant bootneck, do you know what I mean? Tattoos, bald head. Literally looked up at me, he's like, "You fucking what?" And I was like, oh my God, I felt worse then than I did getting off the train. I was just like,
did he know that you were playing for the court, or did you think you'd just been off on
he did. He was just like, "You think
hockey?
This is what it's fucking about?" Do you know what I mean? I was just like, fucking hell, I've had a mare here. But maybe I'm not going to be a tracksuit soldier. Yeah, so that was a bit of a waking call. I was sort of 2 days on the back foot straight away. I was like, this is going to be bad.
Was that like a wake up call? Like, the Royal Marines it's not going to be plain sailing, you know.
Exactly.
There's work to be done. There's a mindset to live by.
Yeah, just a bit.
Did you do anything straight away from training? So you gone to 40 Commando.
Yeah.
Were you still getting to play hockey, or was it straight into actual soldiering and doing stuff?
I managed to keep my foot in the door with stuff like that. Again, it was hard to convince sort of sergeant majors and stuff that you're going to go and play hockey on Tuesday and Wednesday while the lads are doing fucking weapon drills. But I had like a first Sea Lord on my side in the Navy. So yeah, they'd get the odd phone call, but obviously that went down like a fucking lead balloon. Like, I'm going to go tell the first Sea Lord and you get me to play hockey. But yeah, so I managed to play it. But again, first couple of months sort of had a fairly good relationship. And I think it's like the stripies and everything sort of realise who's sort of a decent lad and whatever. So yeah, I used to get away with disappearing every now and then, playing with hockey and stuff. But yeah, so not long after I joined, is all that stuff sort of happened in Libya, like the Colonel Gaddafi stuff.
Yeah.
So we were due to go out on like an exercise on ship. I can't remember. Alligator? No, Alligator's an American one. Can't remember what it's called now. We were due to go out on that. But then with all this stuff kicking off, they basically like moved the date forward. So obviously booked a holiday with the missus and stuff like that. Oh, we're going to have leave. It's fine. It's all going to be good. So then they're going, yeah, that exercise has been brought forward to like next week. Yeah. So that was my first like wake up call of sort of, okay, this stuff happens and it happens quick and we've got to sort of go and stuff. So yeah, so then we went on to that, say tour sort of exercise. And it was just a bit more of a show of force as well. So yeah, that ended up being sort of 3-4 month cruise basically. But yeah, I learned a lot on that. Not say to be a bootneck, there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, learned the ropes quite a lot on that tour, being surrounded by quite a few strong people who'd been in previous 40 like earlier tours and stuff. So yeah, really got to know the lads, and yeah, I think that's where the troop cohesion came. I think that's where it came like, okay, this is my job now.
That's where that like military brotherhood,
yeah, definitely
first hit you then.
Yeah,
like,
especially on the ship as well. Like you've got you like mushrooms. You're literally living on top of each other. I mean, the troop's 32 in the troop, and you're living in a room like a quarter the size of this place. You can touch the ceiling. Like, you're literally living on top of each other. So you get to know each other quick. You learn to adapt. You learn to just sort of not be jack and work for each other. So yeah, you learn hard and fast.
And how was it on a ship being with sailors compared to Royal Marines?
Yeah.
Is there a bit of a divide there?
There is, but I think they do their job and we do ours. But yeah, it's so there's a few ships. We're on some like RFA ships, which are like sort of a bit weird, like half civvy ships. I don't know much about the Navy, so I can't really talk too much because I sound like I'm fucking solid. And then you go on like a proper Navy ship, and yeah, that's a fucking eye opener. They're doing all their Navy stuff, running about, tooting whistles, fucking doing loads of mad shit, and we're just like, we'll just fucking get as low as you can in the boat ship. They literally stick you at the very, very bottom, so you're literally at the bottom of the ship, and it's like a door, there's like a corridor, and that's where all the bootnecks are. Yeah. So you've got like fucking company of bootnecks, like down in the shadows, just sort of only coming out for an need scran fizz. If there's a piss up, and then you just hide, just keep yourself away from them. And that's pretty much what we got briefed, was don't be dicks, don't fucking do anything stupid, just keep yourself to yourself. Yeah, it was very much like a divide. You're not really trusted to speak to them. It's only sort of corporal and above that actually allowed to have a conversation with them.
So
everyone else
you were still a Marine
at
this
this
point?
Is straight out, yeah. So this is still within the first 6 months, 9 months.
Awesome.
That's not, yeah.
And what happened after that? You've come back. Girlfriend was still happy,
still
with you at the time?
Yeah, still there, yeah. And yeah, we knew, so everyone really wanted to go to 40 because we knew that was the next Herrick. So obviously, throughout the whole of training, again, that mentality of still like conflicts are still going on. So you're very, very aware of that. And obviously, you want to train to do the job at the end of the day. So yeah, everyone wanted to get 40. So like, we always knew we were going to go in Herrick. That was always a plan. So yeah, so the whole drive through it all, the whole sort of conversations, training was all geared up to like be going away to do the actual job.
Do you have a choice when you were in training to say, I want to go to 40?
Yeah, so you put in your sort of your top three, and obviously everyone put 40. I think if someone hadn't of, that would have raised a few eyebrows and flags, but do you know what I mean? It's each to their own sort of thing, but yeah, everyone wanted that. I think it was, I don't know if it was notable then, but whether knew it was going to be like the last one for the Corps. So obviously it'd sort of come around every 3 Herricks, I think, how that rotation worked, I think. So I think it was looking unlikely that there was going to be like a sort of Herrick 2021 that the Corps were going to do. Yeah. So I think everyone sort of knew it was probably the last chance you're going to get to go.
So Herrick's coming around now. Yeah. Are you still a Marine or any promotion courses?
So I've got Lance Jack just before. Again, in the Corps, it wasn't really a thing. It was a bit of a put that on sort of thing. It wasn't really like official, so to speak. But yeah. So I picked that up just before we went. Yeah, I actually forgot that. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you get ready to go and deploy on Herrick.
Yeah.
As a commander of men, Lance Corporal.
Yeah.
Which Herrick was this?
17. Yeah.
Please do talk through the tour.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it kinetic?
No. So it was very different to what we'd been told. Obviously, going into 40. So when we went to 40, we'd just come off the back end. I think it was, apologies if I get this wrong, I think it might have been 14, Herrick 14. So we'd just come into that, and obviously we were Charlie Company, and they had a really bad time, especially they had a week where they just were losing blokes sort of every day. So we went into that, and obviously the blokes that had been left behind to stay at 40, obviously the Corps works on, you do sort of like 2-year drafts and you move on. So there've been a few left behind, which are our corporals. So obviously they had all that to deal with, and then they had 30 odd blokes turn up that were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So we caught the raft of a lot of stuff like that. But I say we caught the raft, we caught negatives, but also we got like the positives of that experience coming through to us. Obviously we had to earn that respect and sort of earn the right for them to sort of respect us in a way. So to answer your question, it was quite it was an interesting one. Like it was just quite so I'm losing my train of thought a little bit now. Yeah, it was confusing, I think, for people, because it was very cat and mouse. It wasn't kinetic. It wasn't like, we're going to go out here and sort of like all the stories you hear, like what you're going to get scrapping around. And
was that disappointing for you? As you got out there thinking, you know, I've heard these stories of Herrick, like, this is proper war fighting. And again, arguably some of the harshest war fighting since World War II.
Yeah.
So you're expecting it and it didn't come.
No. And it's hard to explain that to sort of like a civilian. Obviously, you understand that because you'd asked me that question. Is you want to go, you want to do that. Do you know what I mean? You want to get in a scrap, you want to get into contact, you want to do this. So it's sort of a little bit frustrating for us because we were sort of waiting for it to happen. And we'd always, if another patrol would go out, you'd be like, oh, fucking, what if something happens? I'm gutted if it happens to them. Like really weird mentality to explain to anyone sort of not in that circle. But yeah, it was very like cat and mouse. Like I said, there's not much appetite for the sort of the seniors and stuff to get into stuff like that because they'd obviously done 1, 2, 3 tours between themselves. So they just wanted to get in, get out. And
they were happy to have a less connected tour.
I think so, yeah. I think so,
Cash the check.
Basically,
have their extra money they get coming on things like their LSA and get home to their families.
Exactly, yeah. But at the end of the day, they're still bootnecks. They'd still, like, if shit hit the fan, they'd have sent it. But I think deep down, they just wanted a sort of nice, easy one. But it was quite interesting because it was so cat and mouse. It was so strategic. It was very much sort of, say, hearts and minds. Like, we were working closely with, like, A&A and A&P. Like having a lot of the meetings and I mean we had them in our FOB as well, so there was, in our PB, so there's obviously all that to try to sort of deal with, and quite a strategic and like just a totally different tour compared to what we expected and compared to what the seniors had as well.
And they, but on a positive note, everybody made it home.
No, it's unfortunately not. So the only sort of one kinetic issue we had is. We had a green and blue. And that's unfortunately when we lost Shannon and Dave. So that was, again, there was not much appetite before for anything to happen. That day happened. And then obviously after that, there's not much appetite to sort of get out and about really. But that was a strange week really. Because we'd gone from walking down the road, sort of seeing the AMP, seeing the A&R, sort of like, I mean, chatting to them, doing the whole sort of handshakes and cigarettes and all this sort of stuff. And then still expected to do that for the rest of the tour. Obviously, the day after, we've gone out sort of as a show of force almost. I think it was the day after, 2 days later. But then obviously our mood had changed. So all the kids and that we've been waving to and sort of thumbs up in and stuff. And we were walking past them just sort of like, do you know what I mean? Couldn't trust anyone. So I think the whole mood around the area changed quite a bit. And then I think we've done that. We've carried on for about a month or so after. And then I think after that, it was just like, fucking, there's no appetite to fucking do this now. I think probably went through the motions the sort of last month or two and closed the PB down.
How did that death affect you?
Probably more so recently. If I'm honest, it didn't affect me too much. And I think, about speaking for other people, I think it didn't affect some of the lads that much either. Obviously the lads that are out there and the lads that were close to him and obviously people that are close to Shannon that I still speak to now. It affected people in different ways, but immediately it didn't quite, because we were still there, we still had to do the job. And so, I mean, it was not long before Remembrance Sunday as well. So then, 2-3 weeks later, we're watching November services on the TV, and it was just like, it was just very surreal, really surreal. I think more so recently, especially since I've had kids and stuff, and I think your emotions change as you get older. Especially the November 7 is just gone. Like, it's the most emotional I've been. I've never actually been emotional at November 7. I like to do it. I like to go on my own, just sort of have my own little piece on my own, never take anyone with me. And go and have a pint and meet some of the old boys. But yeah, this year, like, I actually really couldn't let it go. It's really weird because I wasn't mega close to Dave. Obviously, he's part of the company and everyone knows each other. The company's really, really tight, but I didn't know him that well personally. Or Shannon, obviously, she came up patrol with us a few times. But yeah, it was just a bit surreal as I've got older. I think about it more now. I
think it's fair to say that, like, as we age, hindsight's a brilliant thing, isn't it? You know, we look back on these things and we think, like, almost it's that military mindset, isn't it? Of if you know we're out there to kill or be killed, and if the worst happens, the ultimate sacrifice is paid. Like, we've still got a job to do. Yeah, you still got to go out there, do what and not even being paid to do. You know, we don't do it for any political reason, anything like that. We're out there to do a job, and it's in later years but that could have been me. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
they're no longer with us.
Yeah.
And going to ask you a controversial question. Was it worth it? The tours and the war in Afghanistan for you personally?
No, because all this came out a couple of years ago, wasn't it? And everyone came out with their opinions and stuff. I think I did post something, but I don't know. And you think there's a lot of stuff that goes on. I mean, we're obviously sort of like Green Army, so to speak, but there's a lot that goes on, especially knowing what I know now after doing the other side of the other world. There's a lot of that got stopped, and it could have been a lot worse. Like you said, when you look at Afghan now, especially when they pulled out, and what the state it's in now, like, is it worth it? You can look at that and go, fucking no, what's the point? Yeah, you've lost like shy of 500 men and women, but and then thousands of injuries, and obviously the other injuries that we talk about that can't be seen, and the bigger picture, like, was it worth it? No. Companies make money. Yeah. I think it's not really, we never got paid enough to think about that. It wasn't our rank to think about that, but we still went. So,
and we never, it's important to say, none of us, especially within my friendship group, and I think it's fair to say yours, no one joined because they were like, I'm going to fight for our government. It was, we joined for primarily the experience, and you know, and you said yourself, it was something to do. Yeah, it was some free fizz, and we did the job to the best of our abilities.
I'd be lying if I was like, oh, I want to go, I'm going to join the Royal Marines because I want to fight for my country. Yeah, no, it's because I wanted to get away from the wrong people at home. I wanted some money. I enjoyed the fizz, like, and as you get into that, I think you become a bit more of a patriot. Like, you become patriotic. Like, I used to watch England play football, but I mean, I wouldn't fucking walk around singing the national anthem. But by being in the Corps, by seeing these people that have lost friends, by knowing them people, then you become patriotic. And I think, especially after that tour, I was ready for it, but I wanted to go. I wanted to get a medal. I wanted to say I've been in Afghan. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to try and get into a scrap. Yeah. I think the tours that come after that, then you get a bit more patriotic, and you sort of like, oh, I actually want to do this now because I can see the outcome of it. Yeah. But I think when those sort of herricks, or especially ours, it's hard to see. It's hard to see the outcome, especially 2-3 months in when that happened. It's just a bit like,
Herrick, 17's finished, so we're 2013.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
Lance Corporal, still looking for something to do in the Corps. Yeah. What came for you next?
A bit of a weird period. So people started getting moving on. Again, we're sort of like 2 years into that draft now. So lads are starting to get sort of drafted out and stuff. I was sort of in a bit of a middle period, not sure what was happening. There was talk about a new PTI course where they're basically doing Lanchester PTIs. So I spoke to my old PTI back in training, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Pretty much said, I can get you on that course. Sergeant Major at the time, standard, was sort of like, no, you're not doing that. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to promote you. Standard. It's really not harming anyone, is it? And at that time, I'd had my heart set on it. I was like, I'd been thinking about PTIs since being in the Corps. I was like, I like that. I like what they do. That's a bit of me. I can still get paid for doing fizz. Do you know what I mean? I've done my tour. I can just do that. And I just had quite a bit of pushback from that. Ended up staying at 40 for a little bit, and then I was just like, I want to do something. I think I've always had a challenge. Like with the hockey, it was always trying to get into that team, do that, and then join the Corps. And I joined the Corps, and I was like, well, I've got nothing. I've always needed something to train for. So that's when I started looking down the sort of the SF route. And stumbled upon SFCs.
Awesome. And tell us, what is an SFC? What's the difference between those and the other branches? Obviously, we've got SBS, SAS, and then SFCs and other branches. But primarily, what was the role, and why were you looking at that?
I'm not quite sure, really. I think it was probably a bit, looking back, maybe a bit intimidated, or just thought I wasn't ready for the sort of the top tier stuff. The SFC, it sold it quite well to me. It was sort of, you were still going away with the lads, you were still doing the cool stuff, you were wearing the Gucci gear. And it was a little bit interesting. It wasn't just sort of like so much like door kicking, that sort of stuff. And just the people I'd spoke to just sold it really well to me. I'm not technical minded at all. I probably am now, but at the time I wasn't. So in theory, it's just a bit of a fucking weird decision, really, looking back. I don't know what it was, but went down and obviously did like the pre-aptitude, like the sort of the briefing course and stuff. I was really interested in it after the briefing course, to be honest. Yeah. They sold it really well at the time.
And SFC's Special Forces Communicator.
Yeah, correct.
So for a guy that's been a boot neck, Green Army, to then looking at doing something technical.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any different.
No, especially when I was so phys-minded and it was the fitness that I liked. I fucking no idea what happened there. No idea. I don't know. It might have been a bit of, maybe I did just panic a little bit.
And how was the briefing course for you?
Yeah, it was good. Good eye opener. Getting down south, going around, seeing all the stuff that they do, seeing all the kit, getting hands on the kit, doing the fitness down there, getting close and personal with the Jurassic Coast, and I loved it. Yeah, it's just what I needed as well, because everyone had left 40. Again, I was sort of in that period where sort of going back to when I was a bricklayer, just sort of going through the motions a little bit. So it was nice to have something there to work towards, and like a new test, basically.
Did that teach you anything about yourself, that like you always need to have something to aim for? You can't just sit still, like...
Yeah, and that proves like currently as well, especially now that I've left.
Sure.
Just booking stupid challenges and stuff, which I'm sure we'll talk about. I've recognised that recently.
So it's briefing courses done. You then went on selection.
Yeah.
And your sergeant major was okay with this though?
He was okay with it, I think. We had a few pushbacks as well, because there's a few lads going on main selection as well. And we've gone out to America to do an exercise. We were trying to get back to do some like training, getting like mountain packages. So there's a lot of like pre-courses. And there's the odd sergeant or two that was just sort of like trying to push back and why are you going to do those courses and stuff? But I think they're the sort of people that tried, failed or whatever. But it was weird. We were still getting a group of lads that were going on to these courses where it wasn't made easy for us.
Why do you think your seniors would push back on something like that? You know, you're going to like join something like trying to join the most elite military in the world.
Yeah.
Do you think because they maybe tried it, failed, or just
I think so.
A resentment towards you? Or
I think so, yeah.
Like, as you're on your career, like because they needed the blokes to be there?
Yeah, I think like the sergeant major level, it's sort of like, it's admin in it. I mean, I've never done that job, but I imagine it's, like getting rid of a member of staff and replacing them. It's, you've got to do all that and it's a bit of a rigmarole. And then I think the other side, exactly what you said, there's a bit of resentment, jealousy as well. I generally think that's why.
But it's also a good test of character, isn't it? To if you can endure them, mental resilience is a huge part of the military, and now even more so, it's going to be more paramount than ever that you have that resilience. So, how was selection for you?
It was good. I was in the fitness side of it, technical side of it, not so well.
Any issues on the physical?
No,
on the hills?
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hills. So how the SFCs work is they do 3K now, the other lads do 4. It's the same marches, but just you have different sort of criteria. But it's changed quite a lot now since I've done it. So I'm not sure what it is now, but at the time it's still like the 3-week hill phase and stuff. So yeah, as a boot neck, it's sort of the boot neck shined in that, and sort of like the army lads sort of struggled. But yeah, the sort of 8 to 10 weeks that followed that is the boot necks are in the trenches, and then the army lads are trying to turn our laptops on and stuff, which is quite ironic because that's sort of a joke, because that's our job when we actually pass. But yeah, just we were just, I was treading water, mate, doing that technical bit.
So it's very different to standard at being a badge lad that they then go off into the jungle. Do you have to do a jungle phase or anything like that?
No, so you do like, again, this has changed, but we do like the main tech phase, so the main comms phase it's called. I think it's about 8 weeks. You do the whole comms phase, and then you do sort of like a tactical bit where you learn sort of like the car drills. Do you know what I mean? Go back to a little bit of soldiering. And then you go away and do like your jumps and your sear and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. So basically, essentially when they do like the jungle and the CT stuff, we do all the fucking radio stuff.
Nice. And how long is that selection process for an SFC?
I think it's 6 months. Yeah, I think it's 6 months.
So it's and at any point on that, if you're not up to it's back to units.
Yeah, same as any sort of normal sort of course, really. You have your points if you're not making criteria. Then
and it's absolutely not an attendance course, is it? It's,
no.
If you're not up to the standard you need to be at, then it's
same thing. They're not going to drag you through. Essentially, it's not like a boot neck training where they're trying to get you to pass.
Yeah,
like the selection's different. It's like this is a criteria. If you don't pass it, then that's you.
And any issues going through your 6-month selection process, or was it dare I say it, other than trying to switch a laptop on,
Yeah.
straightforward.
So
And
there's touch and go with like staying on that, but like I said, good lads around us, and they are there, even though you have to pass. But that for that period is, again, you know nothing. Same as when you join the corps. Like I knew nothing, so they're literally teaching, and they obviously teach you well enough, because from that day one of doing all the tech stuff to actually passing it, when you think about it, they've fucking taught you well, and they've taught you hard as well. So yeah, that was a bit personally when I thought, oh, if I'm going to go, it's going to be here. But then after that, I sort of enjoyed doing the sort of like the soldiering parts of it, and the jumps and sear, and I don't know about sear, but
you didn't enjoy it.
Sear's different, mate. Yeah.
Is there anything you can talk about for those that may not know what sear is?
Yeah, like I'll obviously touch over. Like I said, I don't want to be that bloke that sings stuff, but yeah, it's I think we'd done, again, this has changed as well, but we did, it was like 5 days on the run, I think. You get like 12-hour ration pack. They make life difficult for you just before you're about to go in. And yeah, we were up in Scotland. Yeah, the weather was literally like this the whole time. So yeah, there's had to question yourself a few times. If there's a point where anyone wanted to chuck the towel in, but I think strategically they pull it so late in the course where it's one of the last things you do. You literally do sear jumps and then you sort of pass. So no one's going to throw the towel in then. But I think, yeah, if they put sear at the start, then I think they'll be known at the end of the course.
Just rate might be
that way,
a little bit higher.
Yeah. And then you go into the bag and do that whole process, which we used to do the long one. Yeah. Same as the lads, but I think it's dropped down a bit now. So yeah, that's me just saying that I've done the hard sear.
Yeah. You've done the hard stuff too.
Any hour in sear is graft. But yeah, it's actually a really interesting process, and the whole training exercise is, even though it's a test and you're getting pushed to the limit, it's actually training. And at the end of it, you actually you learn before you go into it, or what you have to do, and like the tactics and all this sort of stuff. And then you do get a bit of a debrief at the end as well, which is actually really useful. So it's mega professional environment. It's so clever how they do it and stuff you learn. And obviously it's fucking important.
How was your debrief? You done well?
I wasn't really listening, but yeah, there was obviously work on points, a few stuff like this, but yeah, I think the main thing is just sort of keeping your head and stuff. But yeah, it's weird because it's easy to sit there and go, oh, it's training. Do you know what I mean? You haven't got a clock watch, but you're like, in a day or two, I'll have a nice shower. Yeah. Back in the galley.
Was that a big part of you going through sears, that you know that at some point
it wasn't, because it's that realistic. And I think if with any exercise, some lads are really good at this. When they go into like exercises, they'll really throw themselves into it. Sometimes you're a bit like, you can tell it's a bloke behind the trees, whatever. But some lads, like I noticed years later, they'd really like embrace the exercise and like really get into it. And I think that's what happened in SEA, but without knowing. So it all felt real. Like at one point, obviously you're a bit delirious, you haven't eaten much, you're fucked. Yeah. You get people, then you go into the interrogation stage, and yeah, it felt real. It felt like you couldn't get out of it. So I couldn't even think about going back to the grot, because it was just like, this is never ending. This is my life now. I'm just in this mad loop and just like, yeah, deteriorated. But yeah, it's really weird. It's hard to explain until you've actually done it. Yeah. But yeah, it's probably the best training, best exercise.
So you're smiling about it now. So it's, yeah, it's over 10 years ago now since.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Since that had happened.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
And during your time in UKSF, had you ever had another situation like that?
What, as in training?
Where you'd actually been captured?
Oh, no, luckily not, no.
There you go. Lucky.
Nah, I'd have been ready though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. No, shit's hit the fan if that happens.
But, yeah, absolutely. But
yeah, luckily that's a bit of training I've never had to use.
Good. And I think, to be fair, that's probably the one bit of training no one wants to do.
Nah.
So you're now, is it fair to say you're badged in as an SFC?
Yeah.
What happens now at unit? And please don't go into detail that you can't or you don't want to. Just what's life like now that you're down? You were based down at Hereford, weren't you?
Down in Poole.
Down in Poole.
Yeah. So naturally, again at the time, bootnecks naturally go down to Poole, and the army lads go across to Hereford. Just a totally different life. Just literally like being a civvy again. Very much trusted with everything. You don't get looked after, as in you're not getting watched all the time. It's pretty much big boys rules. Go and do this. It's not so much in the core where it's like, right, this is your task. This is what you got to do. A, B, C. They're like, this is a task. Go away. Just come back to me when it's done. So really, really different mentality. You've got to grow up pretty quick. You can easily make mistakes by getting a bit lax with stuff. You soon learn quick and hard. Obviously, the fallout of those mistakes are fucking massively detrimental when you're away, and even when you're just in the UK as well. But yeah, mega professional, and if anything, it starts to get real. It feels more real. I think when you're in the Green Army and like the Corps, you're constantly on exercise. You're always pretending. You're running around with like yellow BFA on, and it's very much like going through the motions and stuff. And let's go back to basics. But as soon as you go down there, everything's real. So yeah, it's a very grown up environment, but really interesting.
And so tours happened as well. And similar to Green Army being in the Corps, is it standard deployments, or do you have anything different? Are you away for short ops coming back?
Yeah, so they have a few little things that are going on. There's a lot of short taskings, a lot of things that just pop up that even you don't know is happening. It just sort of happens. So you'll just get like a call and it'll be like,
Luke, I'm going to get you to pull your mic closer to your face.
Sorry. Is that what's happened? That's why everyone's like dancing. Is that all right?
Everyone's dancing around there.
Yeah, there are a lot of short taskings come out. Sort of very much, we need you sort of yesterday. So a lot of running about with your head on fire, just sort of getting stuff together. A lot of niche little tasks, which are like, again, really cool, really interesting. But it's all small tasks, like smaller teams. So compared to like Green Army in the Corps, where you're going away sort of unit level, company level, you're going away as teams of 4, teams of 6. And sometimes you're going out on your own. So you're leaving the gate and you've got millions of pounds worth of kit, a passport.
Yeah.
Like,
see you later.
That's where it becomes, like you said, like the big boys rules. You've got to grow up fast, and really interesting jobs going on. And obviously post Herrick's, they're still quite busy as well. So,
are you happy to name any of the countries you've visited?
Roughly, yeah. So I went back to Afghan. That was a really, really good tour with some other units. Yeah, probably my best tour, most interesting, one that's looking back most film worthy. Like when you're in it, you don't really realise what you do. It's just you're going day to day. It's the job at the end of the day. But then when you look back and you're thinking, "Fucking hell, that's like the stuff you see on movies." But you're probably dripping about it when we were doing it, going, "Fucking hell, we're going to finish it because I want to go to the gym," sort of thing. But yeah, the really like interesting, technical, the people that were involved in, the different units, the different countries, just all you see everything come together, and that's the stuff where obviously the public don't see. I think the Green Army don't see when you get a lot of dripping and you're moaning about stuff, but you don't really see the bigger picture. The stuff that goes in, as it sounds like, in the shadows, in the background, at that sort of level is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, the stuff that goes on. But yeah.
And is there any others you can touch on? So you've been back to Afghanistan?
Yeah. And I went around North Africa area, which again was really interesting. It's quite political stuff. So you have to be so careful about talking about stuff. But again, it's you just going with the flow. There's obviously a long-term plan, but you get thrown all these spindles where things change really quick, and you think you're going to be in one location for ages, and then the next minute you're like, right, we need to move, and we need to go like in an hour, and moving around, and all these different assets, different people. But yeah, it's the stuff you read about and the stuff that you can watch in the movies. It's quite cool.
So being in SFC, was this like the pinnacle of your career at this point? Is this like this is actually my life? Like this is cool. Like this is
especially being at that level as well. I think with anything, you're actually doing the good jobs being sort of like the junior, sort of like the Lance Jack corporals. Yeah. I think as soon as you start going to sergeant level, even in that world, you start moving beyond the desk and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I joined to do. So I was happy. I was content with that first tour. I was content with the second one. I was just like, this is.
Is there any like standout moments of either of those deployments of where you were like that? I'll never forget that memory.
Like, yeah. So there was one on the first one. Again, trying to be delicate, and essentially there was me and the 2 lads, and we'd have like a team of Afghans, and we'd just basically driving around and we'd get into intel and stuff, and go and knock on a few doors and do all this sort of stuff. And that was literally our life, just sort of rotating like sort of every single week, doing that once, twice, 3 times a week. And yeah, that becomes the norm. Yeah. There was the one night that it sort of went a bit west. But that's when you see like the professionalism and then the blokes that you're dealing with. Like it's you sort of mates, and we're all bootlegs to start with. But yeah, when stuff goes wrong, that's when you really see him step up, and that's when you sort of like step back a bit and you go, "Fucking hell, that's why he does that job." Do you know what I mean? That's why he gets paid that. That's why that's why he gets to walk around with a beard and wear what the fuck he wants.
Before obviously beards were a thing.
Before beards were a thing,
army.
Some beards were cool, but but yeah, that's when you realise, like, fuck me, these are the blokes that like deserve it, and that's why they are where they are, sort of thing. I think it's easy to see people out sort of walking around and doing bits like that, but when you actually see them do their job, it's fucking impressive.
So it's a pretty high level demand.
Yeah.
Just for you, like physically, mentally.
Yeah.
Any takeaway points from either of these tours or just being down at Poole?
I think it's good. I think you've actually got to be a bit ready for that. You've got to be a bit mature, or if you don't, you're going to get mature fast. Yeah, I think it's just that level of trust. You've got to trust each other. You've got to trust yourself. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on you at points, and I think it gets not just for like my job. Obviously, everyone's got their point in the job, but there's certain times where you just sort of like, oh, fucking hell, I'm literally the middle bit between what's happening in front of me, what's happening up there, and God knows what else, who else is watching. So yeah, there's a bit of a realisation when you're like, fuck me, I'm a key piece here. And you've got to deal with that pressure, and especially the lads as well, because you know what I mean, like I said before, they're sort of looking at you and shit hits a fan, and like you've got your job to do. This is where you earn your money, sort of thing. So yeah, I think you've got to be a decent level of maturity. But yeah, just willing not to be Jack, and like I said, you're working in a small team, so if you are that sort of person, you'll get found out quick.
Yeah, and so, hypothetically, you have a guy that's not pulling his weight. He is Jack.
Yeah.
Not that it would happen, but if it did, what would happen to that individual
in that environment?
Yeah,
there'd just be conversation straight away.
Yeah,
we'd never bury it. But I suppose like in a troop, sort of Green Army style, they sort of essentially get moved out or get pushed away and stuff. But because
you got to have them awkward conversations.
You've got to have them conversations.
I suppose because of the training that you've gone through, you've bred that mindset where that's not going to be a thing, is it? It's people know what's at stake and what they have to do.
Exactly, it's integrity and it's trusting each other. Like no one's gonna come and check my work. I mean, there's us three running around Africa doing all that sort of stuff, and I'm in charge. I have my jobs to do, but no one's going to come and check me. So if one night I decide, I can't be asked to do that, or I'm going to sort the lads' radios out before we go out and stuff like that, but then get on the ground and something doesn't work, or then obviously going to look at me going,
did that ever happen? Did the radios comms ever go down?
They always go down. That's the problem. That's where you earn your money.
That's why you're there.
Yeah. When you literally stood there and like you're at the breach and the bloke at the front's calling you over. He's like, my radio's not working. You're like, mate, like in the dark. That's where you earn your money. Isn't as Gucci as what they're doing at the front, but yeah, that exactly stuff like that. They're just expected to sort it out. But again, because of that environment, there's not so much that many lines to go by, so it's sort of like just do that job. As long as you do it, I don't care what you do. And obviously in the Green Army, it's like, this is how you do it. This is the correct way to do it. Obviously we get a bit more leeway and can do things a bit outside of the book to get stuff working or get the job done and stuff.
We're still down at Poole at this time.
Yeah,
you're absolutely loving your career.
Yeah,
was there any aspirations to become badged either with Poole or Hereford?
Yeah, so with the job, especially that job, obviously I've been down there for a bit. It's sort of semi looking at promotion and stuff, but that's where the job sort of got a bit shit. Like I knew I wasn't going to be in the military so I wasn't like, I'm going to be and I'm going to get to that rank. I wasn't bothered. I just wanted to join the military, realise what the cool stuff was, what the decent jobs were, what level you had to be at that. And I was just happy just to stay at that. And then whenever I'm done, I'll punch out, sort of thing. So then it started to get to, like the jobs was drying up a little bit and they're trying to share the good jobs out and stuff. And I was just like, again, I wasn't really mega into the technical stuff. I wasn't really into radios at all, but I just liked deploying. So that's where I had to make a decision. I was like, I think it's time. I think I'll have a crack. Yeah.
Nice. And you did have a crack.
I had a crack. Yeah.
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 And so, I think it was, did you have a crack more than once?
I had a crack twice. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I really got into it. again, my mentality was on it. That's all I wanted to do. And I decided that is it. That's all I want to do now.
So we touched earlier. So hills, no issue. Fine both times.
Yeah.
Got to the jungle.
Yeah.
Got through the jungle.
Got through the jungle, yeah.
And is that where things stopped?
Yeah, pretty much like at the end of the jungle, got back. Obviously, happy we got to the end. But you always, you're self-doubting yourself because it's really, mentally, it's a hard course because you don't know if you're doing fucking well. Even the lads that are, you can see like who the decent lads, and you know what I mean? You can see like, fucking hell, he's all over it. Yeah. I think even they doubting themselves because you get no feedback. It's really like mentally, it's a hard and game.
So with no disrespect meant, evidently both those times it was jungle, you'd come back and it was not for you. Yeah. And still at this point there's no feedback given. Did you have anything as to why?
I think the first time I probably was, but you're not taking anything in. I think I got a little bit of feedback and I remembered a little bit. And again, because that probably just drove me to get on it again. So then the second time, I was probably a bit, realistically the first time, I think I wasn't massively shocked.
Can you share that feedback as to why?
I honestly can't remember. I think it was just, like I said, it was really, you know what I mean? I was a bit emotional. I wasn't just sort of like, I just wanted to get out of there. I think it was just didn't really pick it up as well as the lads, which I think it was right. I agreed with it, to be honest, like after. And I think I actually managed to get a phone call with him somehow. I think it was I decided I was going back on. And I managed to have a phone call with him on the DS. And I got some decent feedback. Like, this is what you need to tighten up and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, happy. So yeah, then I've gone on again. Same classroom, so same feedback. And I was, and when they told me then, I was sort of, as I heard it, I was like, because that was me, that was my last thing. I didn't want to go back to being an FSC because I knew there was like promotions pretty much waiting there. There was nothing sort of cool happening, and I was like, this way or nothing. So yeah, I got that last bit of feedback. I was pretty much just like, appreciate your time, thank you very much. And
I think there's a huge tip of the hat towards you for that though, to turn around, to have gone on the hills, gone through the jungle, and to not, I mean, there might have been a bit of resentment there, but to be like, actually, do you know what? I agree with them. They made the right call for them. I think that's pretty big of you. Some lads, even if it's on whatever course you do in the military, see, now they're wrong. I should have been there.
Oh, you're going to get back for it, 100%, because you back yourself as well, because you wouldn't have gone on the course in the first place. So.
But to stand there and be like, it is what it is, I agree. I think that's, take my hat off to you for that. It's
I think the second
character to do.
I think the second time I struggled a bit more with it. Because that's what I wanted. I was like, no, this is what I've got to do. This is what I want to do. I knew realistically what was going to happen. So I was like, I knew I'd probably leave after that. So I was a bit gutted because I was like, I didn't really want to leave the military, but I was like, there's nothing else I want to do. Like it's either that or nothing. So I think there's a bit of resentment there, and I think a bit of anger, just all the emotions, and then a bit of like, a bit of sadness, and then again just keep going through that rotation week after, a bit angry, like what?
But at the same time, you weren't. Not that it is just an SFC anyway. You were still UKSF, but you had another thing going on at the same time, didn't you? Which was Contact Coffee.
I did, yeah.
So you and another bootneck had started a company. How old was Contact Coffee at this point?
So this was 2016. So this had started. So after my first tour of Afghan down in Paul, I had about a month off, and then I went back to do some R&R cover, a few different locations. So I think I'd done another 2-3 months. So within the space of 12 months, I'd done sort of 9 months deployment. So obviously this got flagged up a little bit, and they were sort of like, right, you need to chill out a little bit. Pulled me out of the squadron, put me in like a holding squadron where it's like just a few little tasks come up now and then, like pretty much where lads can just chill out, breathe, like take all the leave. And so just a bit of chill out time. Obviously loads of time on our hands. And I was a bit entrepreneurial anyway before I joined the Corps. So I was a business partner. But during my time in Afghan, I was in an American brand based in the Swaz.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy some. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I went to buy some. It turned out it was going to be like 50 quid or something by the time importing, just for a bag of coffee. And I was like, fucking went. Look for a UK supplier.
Yeah.
There wasn't. There must be a British company. There wasn't. That's where that little idea just sort of ticked. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, went and did it and made
Just
it a
did
thing.
it, yeah.
But it's,
Yeah. Just didn't really start a business. I don't know what we started. It wasn't.
Just started.
We'll
come to Contact Coffee soon, but you'd come off selection the second time.
Yeah.
And at that point you were then like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm getting out.
Yeah.
Was it quite quick after that?
Yeah, so I had a couple of months. If I'm honest, I probably didn't deal with it that well. And later on, especially a few years later, that was probably my main sort of struggle. I just don't think I coped with it that well. So I've sort of not convinced myself I'd passed, or I sort of thought it was just gonna sort of happen. I just didn't really know how to deal with that and what to do next, because there was nothing. I'd submerged myself in it that much, like mentally, physically, training. Like the whole life was like, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, I just didn't really cope with it the second time. So yeah, I sort of bounced around for a month or two, and then I think I just realised, and I was like, I don't want to go on. Potentially could have gone on a third or gone down another route to one of the other units, but I didn't. I'd have just been doing that for the sake of it, I think. So yeah, I just sort of made the decision. Was like, yeah, I think that's me. Like I got thrown a promotion. I was just like, it's not for me now. I think I'm done. So yeah, pretty much having that idea in my head and that thought was pretty much like, oh, what's happening now? And then a bit of excitement. I'm like, right, I'm going.
Yeah. Any regrets from leaving?
Not now. I think there was. I was quite resentful, I think. Because I thought, I did 10 years, but I think obviously if everything would have gone to play, I think I'd have obviously done more. It probably would have done maybe 4 years or something. I don't think I'd have been in for life. That was never me. I didn't really want that. So I imagine the same would have happened again if I'd have passed that course. I'd have got to a certain point and then I'd have just wanted to do that stuff. So yeah, I think realistically I'd have done it and then maybe done a few years and then punched out anyway. But yeah, a bit of resentment, and obviously you always miss the lads and stuff like that. But every time I felt like that, I'd always look back and go, there's a reason why I put my shit in. Do you know what I mean? I looked around, there wasn't that much going on.
It comes back to your hockey days though, doesn't it? You know, there's always an aspiration to be better and better and better, which a lot of elite level sports athletes fall off the bandwagon once they've reached that pinnacle. Then it's what's next, what happens next. But
yeah.
Evidently you had a new focus since you've come out, which was Contact Coffee.
Yep.
So we're going to circle back a little bit to, obviously you were still serving and your business partner was still serving when it was a thing.
Yeah.
Its inception. You've seen this other company. Was that like, oh, I want to do that? Or just research, there's like, it's kind of a gap in the market here.
Yeah.
Coffee's pretty wank, isn't it? You know, freeze-dried shit. And you know, your coffee bags, which we're proudly displaying here.
They are, yeah.
Quite innovative. Hadn't seen anything like it before. Why? Why coffee? I mean, I kind of explained it for you, but what was your why as to wanting to get it started?
Again, like I said before, we're quite entrepreneurial, so a bit of a gap in the market. I had time on my hands, same as my business partner. I think just coffee as a whole, going back to Herrick, that's where we sort of started getting into coffee. Like, we used to get coffee sent out a lot. I had a glass cafetiere that I dropped like the first week. It's obviously sort of that ritual. Like, you go out on the patrols, like, do you know what I mean? They're long day patrols. Do you know what I mean? They're like 8 hour, 10 hours patrols that are like just long days, and you come back. And obviously the main thing on the evening was obviously having scran, and then everyone obviously smoked for some reason, obviously having a fag and stuff. And then just sitting around having a coffee. It was just sort of that bringing together that you didn't really realise you were doing. Do you know what I mean? You sit down, you'd have a chat, have a coffee, have an argument if you needed one. And yeah, it's just sort of that togetherness, and especially after like the Dave and Shannon stuff, obviously there was a lot of conversations that happened after that, and it was just naturally brings people together. I know the old British thing is sit down and have a cup of tea, but like it wasn't it? It's like you sit down, as soon as you get sort of like a hot wet, it's just people just sort of like drop the shoulders a little bit and just sort of relax and talk. So the coffee was obviously coming into the market quite a bit. It was still sort of Costas starting to pop up, and I just think that sort of lifestyle of drinking coffee was building up quite nicely. And yeah, like I said, there was a bit of a gap in the market. It was too expensive to buy the American stuff. So we just saw that opportunity. Contact
Coffee started becoming a thing.
Yeah.
How were the military while you were getting started? Were they accepting of it, or were they like, what are you doing? Are you going to try and use your career and your sort of status within UKSF to push this?
Yeah.
Or were they just like, yeah, whatever, crack on?
I mean, yeah, when you lay it out like that, you think, how the fuck did we get away with it? But we're very honest and open and did everything by the book. Went all the way up to adjutant level, had him sort of sign it off and say, pretty much, he's quite grown up about it. It was just like, look, as long as you don't jeopardise yourself, the unit, or anyone within the unit, sort of crack on. So we knew our lines, do you know what I mean? It was like that anyway, regardless if you had a business down in that world. So never going to sing anything, never jeopardise the place we worked or the place itself. So yeah, we just played the game, massively played the game. It's faceless throughout it all. And that's not even just trying to pretend to be Gucci, we were just generally just faceless. And yeah, didn't jeopardise anything. So yeah, as long as we played the game, touched base every now and then. There's a few raised eyebrows by a few people, but to be honest, we had really good feedback, even from the people you'd expect to sort of give you a bit of shit. But yeah, everyone was really, really good about it.
Nice.
So we're lucky.
And the basics done well. Good coffee, fresh coffee, not freeze dried.
Yeah, exactly
It's
that.
not coffee. It's not coffee. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gets me off on one with supplements. But, there's
not going down that.
How would you describe freeze dried coffee compared to your coffee, either in a coffee bag or beans or ground?
So freeze dried is obviously shit. I think it does have its purpose, especially like ration packs. You know what I mean? They've got sort of 10, 15-year shelf life. But so our answer is, no matter where you are, you shouldn't sort of jeopardise the quality of your coffee. So just because you're in Africa, and just because you're in the top of a mountain, just because you're in the jungle, doesn't mean you have to drink shit coffee. You can just drink good coffee, but using different techniques.
Yeah.
So that's where like the AeroPress came into play and stuff, and you can deploy with all this stuff, and that's where the bags were absolute gold dust for us. So as soon as we discovered the bags and realised that we could do it in our blends, we were just like, these are fucking golden. Obviously, longer term, bigger picture thinking, fucking hell, if we could get these in the ration packs, then there's no reason why lads should be drinking shit coffee. You know what I mean? You're getting better biscuits, they're getting better food. Yeah. So why can't you just have better coffee?
Had you got them into the ration packs?
No, so this is something we've been bouncing on for a few years. We got close-ish with some other stuff a few years ago, but the main one is the best before. Obviously, the ration packs, you know what I mean? They're stuck in a shake on and they're sat there for fucking 10 years and then lads are opening up and eating them. So that's the only fallback from them, is obviously the quality of them being so long-term. But yeah, something we're trying to work on. Still, the main goal is to get them on the ration packs. But yeah, I think people always buy their own stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sell a lot to the lads going into.
I mean, it is hard, though, isn't it? Right, like ration packs. We're very much the same. We try and make good products, but with good products comes slightly shorter shelf lives, and we don't want to compromise on quality.
Yeah.
But if we want to be doing these things with the MOD, ours is, and I'll touch on it briefly on informed sport. But you obviously don't have informed sport because it's not a sports supplement. But organic fair trade can cause a bit of issue, We've sold contact coffee for a while, does well for us. What is the point of having organic or fair trade? Is it just a logo you're paying for?
Yeah, similar to yourself. It's these sort of ticking the boxes. Like people ask us, like, "Oh, are you Rainforest Alliance?" It's like, "Oh, tell us what that means." We're like, it's just nice, yeah. Like they're just ticking the boxes. Like all ticking the boxes.
Yeah.
It's just bollocks.
To line someone else's pocket, which ultimately then just means the cost of your stuff has to be more because you're having to pay for fancy logos.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the only thing that's important now is like all the recyclable stuff. I think, I mean, as it sounds, I think if everyone does a bit, that's a box that you sort of have to tick. And to be fair, you sort of want to tick really.
Yeah.
Like you said, the other stuff, it's just corporate bollocks.
Yeah.
Which you know a lot about.
When by the time you got out, so Contact Coffee would have been what, a couple of years old, 3 years old?
Yeah, we're about 4 years in, yeah.
So 4 years in.
Yeah.
How's that transition leaving the military, like the most elite military forces in the world, to you're a civilian, a veteran, but you're back in Civvy Street.
Yeah.
How did you personally adapt to getting back into that?
So at the time, fine. Like, again, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, exciting, new start is absolutely fine. So Contact Coffee, even though it was going in the background, it was never actually, I didn't know what I was going to do when I left. I put my shit in, didn't really do any courses, didn't really know what was happening. And it wasn't, even though Contact Coffee was there, I was running it. It was literally in my lap. But I was like, is that even a thing? Is it a job? Can it actually pay me, sort of thing? And then when I've put my notice in, obviously COVID's kicked off. So then I've literally just been sat at home and getting paid by the military, but then I'm actually, for once, being able to work full time on Contact Coffee. It's always been a thing on an evening for like an hour or two, or on lunch. So I actually worked in it full time, and having that sort of work on it full time it just scaled. And with it being COVID, everyone wanted to buy online, and yeah, all the graphs, all the numbers just went flying up. And that's where I sort of went, oh, I can do this.
This is going to be a thing.
Yeah, which is scarier than standing on that train platform, I think.
Yeah, and it's one thing I remember, big achievement is you use Shopify for your store, but you've got that little plaque for a certain amount of orders that you've done, which 100,000.
100,000,
and that wasn't like yesterday. That was a little while ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the start of the year, I think. Yeah. Didn't even know about it. Didn't even track.
Just came through.
It was just like
pop.
And it's nice little humble.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, and it's hard to always say you can never have that many people that are wrong. I mean, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
But what you can't do is maybe someone can, but fake reviews. Your reviews are very genuine that you have.
Yeah.
You've got hundreds and hundreds of reviews across the site.
Yeah.
Which are predominantly all 5 stars as well.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a big accolade to hold of, we've got out, I've made a business, and it's actually enjoyed by the lads, and 100,000 separate orders is phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't even work that out.
I mean, I remember when we first were like getting an order every day. I'm like, wow, like an order every day. Like, this is so cool. Like, I mean, we've now been, I think, every year for over 4 years, an order every single day, and that to me is important. Saying 4 years, because that includes Christmas Day. We've had someone order for the last 4 Christmases, Christmas Day. Does anybody order off you on Christmas Day?
Yes, we do. Actually, you do pretty well on Christmas Day, to be fair. Yeah, I've never thought about it like that. Like I said, it's not about how many orders, but if you say like 365 days a year, someone's ordering from your site, then that's quite a nice way to.
Why would people? This is so off topic. Why would people order from Contact Coffee on Christmas Day? Is it because they've been bought something as shit, or gift cards?
Gift cards, maybe gift cards, or they've been given some stuff, or. I don't know. We're still active in social media. It's just, I don't know, people might see it as an opportunity to go, oh, I'll get some more. But I've got no idea. We get orders. You probably get the same like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I just think, what are you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Why are you on our website?
What are you? Is that, it's sometimes a bit surreal. That's good
or bad that people doing that.
And when you see like big orders come through, and you're like, wow, like these our customer base, they're not millionaires with loads of spare money. Exactly, this is real lads, real women that are spending their hard-earned money on our businesses. How does that make you feel, knowing that people know that they're choosing you over a Starbucks or going to
I find it
Tesco's?
A bit weird sometimes, especially when you go face-to-face. You must get it as well. Is that like you sort of really talk to these people, and they're like, you try and give them a bit of a sales pitch, and they're like, yeah, don't really think about it. And then they drop like 50, 60 quid on you. And you just feel like you've gone out and earned that money. You're giving it me. Like, obviously, you respect your own products in this, and you just think, do you like it that much? Is it worth that much?
Yeah.
So
and it's
a really odd feeling.
We can become a bit detached from our own products.
Yeah.
In a way, like we know they're good.
Yeah.
And I only go as far as to say, because we make them, we pride ourselves on what we do. But recent years, I used to buy my own products, and now I'm like, actually, no, I'm doing it. And that was a huge point for me to be like, I'm taking what I want.
Yeah.
Now. So I give myself like, I don't want to say an unlimited amount of supply. I mean, most of the time, we've used stuff at events, so I'm taking the dregs of it. But that was a huge part for me. Do you get high on your own stash?
Always. apart from today.
Apart from today. We're going to blame Leah for this. It's actually my partner's mum.
Now we do, to be fair. We do, yeah.
And that's testament to how good they are. Not just a perk because it's free, because you
generally like it.
Like what you make, which, how many big coffee manufacturers do you think use their own stuff, especially ones that make freeze-dried product?
Exactly.
They probably don't use their own stuff. So what is your go-to blend?
So it's probably Battle Prep, which is our sort of all-rounder, especially because I drink it out of a proper espresso machine, so milk cuts through it really well.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I use the bags, but I'm never really in a situation where I need to use the bag as much now. But when we were serving, I've used them everywhere. So I've used them in Norway, used them in the jungle, used them in deserts. They've been used everywhere, those bags.
And let's talk you through the products that you have. I mean,
Yep.
there's a few, but I'll go through your different blends that you have first of all.
Yeah. So we've got Red On, which is our high caffeine. So it got voted 3rd strongest coffee in the UK, I think, above a lot of people, a lot of brands that pop up on Instagram as sponsored, claiming that they're the strongest coffee, but they're not. So I'll leave that on there. Yeah, that's Indian Robusta, really dark roast. It's not the best tasting coffee because of the high caffeine content, but that's what you get. If you want a high caffeine content coffee, then it's not going to be the best tasting coffee. We've got Battle Prep, After Hours, Shots Fired. I'm going to forget some of these in a minute. And then we've got a few other ones as well. We've got a nice collaboration blend called By Sea, By Land with Bubblehead Barista. So he's a Navy diver, little small batch roastery. We got chatting, just thought there was something there. Had a nice play on words. And yeah, he's created us a nice small batch roast. And yeah, like our bags, which is our number one seller, which was actually an accident. So myself and my business partner got sent some samples. And then when we got together, we were trying them, but then we also got drunk at the same time. And then we ordered them. And at the time, we were outsourcing our fulfillment to this lad that we knew. And he's rung us up and said, like, there's a pallet here for you. And at the time, like, we'd never had a pallet worth of goods. Do you know what I mean? It was always like a few boxes. So like a pallet, we've never had a pallet before. Obviously, we were like, oh, fucking hell, we're flying now. Yeah. Sent us a picture and we were like, we didn't even know what they were. And we'd obviously ordered them when we were drunk and we were just like, shit, this is a lot for us. Like, what we're going to do with it? And they just took off. Like, yeah, I mean, they're a perfect product for people within the military or travel. Like I said, lads can take them into the field. If you're traveling, you can take them to hotel rooms. If you're a bit short cash or you're in a rush, rather than spending £4 at Starbucks, you just
and it's better
boil
coffee
kettle,
than
chuck it on. It's generally better coffee, yeah. People are always pleasantly surprised. I think they always think, oh, it's going to be a bit shit. But yeah, we always get that sort of, oh, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Which I don't know if it's a compliment or not. I don't know.
It sounds like business is good and going well. Has it always been easy? You know, just it sounds like, oh, you make coffee, sell coffee, everyone wants to buy it. It's pretty easy. Like, there can't be any hardship, surely.
Yeah, you saw it with a smirk on your face. Yeah, I think with any business, it's carnage, isn't it? It's a bit like the Swan, isn't it? Like nice and elegant and calm on the top and fucking legs are going.
Feet going mad,
yeah, carnage. Yeah, natural ups and downs. Seasonality, a little bit. We don't, obviously a bit quieter in the summer, but we just try and go around that. Obviously, COVID, we did very well. After COVID, it was like a slide, like someone turned the lights off. People just stopped because they wanted to actually go to the shop to buy stuff. So we had to deal with that, and obviously, sort of spending in areas where you think are going to go well, like just general business mistakes, putting money where you think is going to go well, it doesn't. And obviously, you got staff, you got the issues with staff.
And you said about people going to shops. You've had a shop as well, haven't you? And a Land Rover, a little mobile place.
Yeah. Didn't go too well. It did and it didn't. Didn't go as well as I thought. In hindsight, running a coffee shop and running an online business, regardless of what you're selling, it's two totally different things. Just because you've got an online coffee company doesn't mean you're going to be good at running a coffee shop. I didn't know how to run a coffee shop.
Were you in there running the coffee shop yourself?
No, I wasn't. I was outsourcing. Well, not outsourcing, as in I had people working because obviously still had the website. So I was trying to manage all that. But yeah, it's, again, hindsight, probably shouldn't have done that. But in a way, you sort of wanted to grow, and the next thing was sort of, we should open shop because people want to come and see us. And obviously, we wouldn't have made that decision if we hadn't convinced ourselves it was the right one. But yeah, in hindsight, probably wasn't the best decision. Probably should have invested that cash sort of back into the main core of the business, which is online. But yeah, I've learned a lot since then. So yeah, if I had my time again, I'd.
Yeah, and it's easy to say like coulda, shoulda, woulda, isn't it? It's if you don't know until you've tried it.
No, exactly.
Some of the things we do, all of the market says we should never do that, and it's been some of the best stuff that we've done. So and it's kudos to you trying these things where you're like, actually, this might work, might not work, but until you've done it yourself, you don't truly know, do you? They could have been brilliant. You could have had a contact coffee shop in every single corner of the country.
Exactly. It could have been the best thing they could have done. It could have been a massive franchise. It could have been the one, but just.
Why do you think it wasn't?
I think I stretched myself too much. I think I stretched the business too much. I tried to do too much on my own. I didn't give it enough respect. Ego probably thought, it'll be okay because we've got the brand and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that they're probably the main reasons why. I didn't really plan it that well either. Again, I was just sort of, essentially how we started, we sort of cuffed it. You know what I mean? Cuffing our way, didn't really know what we were doing. And I think I tried to cuff that as well. But yeah, it just sort of bit me in the arse. So yeah, not planning it well enough. Just, trying to blag it. But yeah, I definitely got caught out on that one.
So the coffee shop is no more. It's gone.
Yeah.
How is that as a business and as a business owner to take that? Because it's a pretty big L to have a physical like flagship store to then. Yeah. I'm going to wind this down, or was it you've got to swallow your pride and make the right business decision?
No, it was hard because everything sort of, not being dramatic, sort of falling down all at the same time. So we obviously had the Land Rover, the shop wasn't doing that well. The Land Rover wasn't doing that well. I'd had loads of staff. At one point we had 10 or 12 sort of baristas working for us, and then like a manager, and then obviously the online dried up, and then obviously the cash flow dries up, and then all of a sudden you just like, it just all at once it sort of starts happening. Then you have to have hard decisions, sort of have to have these conversations with the staff, letting them go. Then you have to decide, right, okay, now's the time to stop, cut my losses on the shop. And then, it all started happening all together. And it was just one big, over a couple of months where it was just pushing. It was definitely pushing me. And then, sort of within that year, it just sort of went, and I went bang. Just, pretty hard, pretty fast.
And it's, it's pretty admirable to you to stand there and say, hard stop. Protect the business, because you've got a good business, you've 100,000 orders. People obviously like what you're doing. You've still got customers coming in. You've had to adapt. And I think and I've seen it personally, friends' businesses where they don't have that ability, that moral courage to make a good business decision. And they think with their heart too much, and this might be embarrassing. Someone's going to think I failed. Like you got to stop caring what other people think because if not, if you hadn't stopped, Contact Coffee, would it be fair to say, might not be here if you hadn't done that?
I'm surprised it still is. Some of the stuff that went on in the background as well. And it's just, I don't know. I honestly don't know how. And like, I don't know how obviously at some points it was just like, a lot going on, a lot of pressure on yourself. And like you said, I've got a business partner, but he's still serving, and I was basically running it. So a lot of the decisions, all the decisions are on me. So every right decision that we make, it's sort of like, that was my idea to get that product. But every wrong decision, it's like, I can't put the finger anywhere. It's just, all the wrong decisions were me. But it's tough.
And there isn't a wrong decision because you're still here now. So it wasn't wrong. It was just, it didn't make money.
Yeah.
You're still here training, doing well. Orders are still coming in every day. And it's not like one or two orders that are coming in either, is it? It's give yourself some kudos that
true.
You're still doing very well online, like still crushing it. And again, when I started Combat Fuel, so we were, it's our podcast, so we're going to talk about Combat Fuel. I looked up to you guys, you and your business partner, you traveled down to, at the time I had a gym. I'm like, I'm doing this. And you were sort of like, what's this then?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gym. And some protein powder. And we had turned around and said, can we take some battle prep?
Yeah.
And can we make you a coffee flavored protein? We had a co-branded product for a little bit, didn't we? Which was pretty
That's
cool.
A while ago now, isn't it?
So that was 2019. That was pre-COVID, I think.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID,
that's crazy.
Which was wild. So been good friends with you as well for a long time, and more so sometimes your business partner, depending on the job's demand for you and him.
Yeah.
And where you've been. You said there's been a few challenges, and I don't want to delve too deep into what you're allowed to say or not, but people haven't always performed the way they should have done.
No.
And what I want to touch on is in the military, we have guys that we work with, which we know exactly how we're going to, whether we like them as a character and a person in the outside world or not, we know that if there's a job to do, that job's being done, but that hasn't been the case, has it?
No. Not quite.
Say what you want on that, and no pressure what you can or can't say.
I think it's a military thing. I think it's even more like a bootneck thing. I think bootnecks really, really trust each other, and it's they just expect like as soon as someone says like, "Oh, he's a bootneck," straight away without even meeting him, you're like, "Oh, I can trust him." Like it's again, I know it is a military thing, but like it's really instilled in you within the core. So I think we trust everyone and too many people because we just expect them to do their side, do that like their side of the deal sort of thing. So we definitely over trusted and got a bit hard, really, really hard when it came to our financial side of things, so our accounting. So a lot of things were sort of hidden from us, wasn't doing the job that we were paying them to do. And once we uncovered everything, there was like, a lot of shit. And again, that was part of off the back end of all the shops, back end of all getting rid of the staff, back end of like sales dipping, and then finding out all this sort of like financial issues. And it was all on me. You know what I mean? One day just sort of stood there in the office, just like like a rabbit in headlights, just like,
oh shit,
fuck. Like, yeah. And then that's where all of a sudden stuff start coming out in the back of your head, and you're just like, this wouldn't have happened if I'd have passed the trees. And do you know what I mean? It's just all this like all just snowballs into one, and and then it's like just you're never going to cope, and it just goes bang.
Yeah, but you did cope.
Ish took me a good year. So what happened was I sort of recognised all this was had an episode that lasted about a week, which I couldn't even tell you what happened that week. It was like just being drunk. I was sober throughout it all, but it was just essentially a mental breakdown for about a week. Just getting shoved in front of doctors and family coming round, and like I said, I couldn't even tell you my whereabouts that week. It was just a surreal moment. People around me obviously helping, just sort of like got through all that, and just sort of trying to ask myself a lot of questions like how did I get here? What's actually the trigger point to it? Is that the trigger point, or is it that not working, or is it that person? Just trying to deal with stuff. But so I basically we sort of moved away from the business for a year, but I still ran it. So to a long story short, sort of realised that the main pressure on the business was obviously myself needing a wage and stuff. Like I hadn't paid myself for like a few months, and obviously the pressures at home started carrying up, and just had a newborn baby, and it was all everything happened that week. So I decided to sort of step out from the business, and then an opportunity came up within SEO. So I took that job and then sort of ran Contact Coffee as a bit of going a little bit backwards, but ran it as like a side project, and had someone stepping in to sort of do the day-to-day stuff.
So that you can hard stop me at any point you want. That was Mr. X was very good. We dealt with him for our ordering. He's running the business for you, helping it grow, doing really well.
Yeah.
That was the answer to a lot of problems.
Yep.
Mr. X is amazing.
Yep. Mr. X will do the job. So that all went to shit.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, why wouldn't it? Of course it did. Of course it did, yeah. So that's something else I dealt with 2 months ago, about 2 months in for that one now, So that sort of that big pop that happened, that was sort of that's what 2.5 years ago. So then I just stepped out of the SEO role full time about 3 months ago actually. So I was like ready to come back into Contact Coffee like full time. Everything had semi got sorted back to normal. And the only member of staff had a massive issue with that. So I've just been dealing with that the past sort of month and 2 months. But I think
I don't think it's appropriate to say it on this, but it was
bad.
It was bad. I mean, even in the military, we love to do things, and anyone that's serving, you can imagine what like your block parties are like, that we always remove our clothes and we get very
roily.
It was like that on crack. It was crazy.
Mate, Mortars would have been shocked. Mate.
Mortars would have been shocked. Martha would have been shocked.
Yeah. Carnage, absolute carnage.
A long time, like all of this is going on as well. Like you're also like touching you as an individual, like still a wicked athlete, and you do a lot of running.
I do, yeah. So I've always tried to keep my eye on with it. So I think when I put my chit in, I was like, right, I need something to work towards. So did an Ironman.
As you do.
even though I was a bootneck, I wasn't the best swimmer. So I basically had to learn how to swim. But yeah, done an Ironman, and then in between sort of like little competitions like marathons here and there and stuff like, and then did like London Marathon, and then done the whole little high rock stuff as well. And then did an ultra in France, Morzine, last summer. Morzine.
Where was the Ironman and what time did you get?
Ironman was Bolton. I actually can't remember the time that I got. I can't remember.
I heard it was like 7 hours.
I basically won it. Yeah. That was graft, to be fair. I enjoyed the whole thing, but yeah, I haven't touched the bike since. It's been a shed for like 2 years now. Like the old ultra thing, I'm getting into that. I think that's like an age thing, but I just like to. The thing about the ultras that I like is you're not connected to any phones and laptops. You know what I mean? You're a slave to a phone when you've got a business and stuff, and it's just nice.
It's absolutely
enforced. It's an enforced break.
Yeah,
and I like doing it. I like not listening to music. I like just getting out and about. So yeah, getting into the ultras, like I said, the high rock stuff, and then doing the Red On Backyard Ultra as well in May.
Awesome. You're a bootneck though. You're going to do the
I've had to do the tactical one, haven't I?
Good man.
I was looking forward to doing it because I really wanted to do it and try it out. And then as soon as he brought out that tactical version, I was just like, fuck's sake. And I literally dropped him a message, and he was pretty much like, yeah, you can't do the normal one. Yeah, I've had to throw the towel in on the normal one, did I? Thingy. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of excuses going, it's been 5 years since I carried weight. But yeah. I've already done a few token runs.
Love it. Life's been pretty testing for you, and it's almost fair to say that it was simpler when you were serving down at pool.
It's a simple life. Simple life.
You know what you got to do, where you got to be, and it's a simple, whatever level you're at, whether you're a private in the infantry up to UKSF, right place, right time, right kit, right attitude.
Yeah.
And things just happen.
Yeah. It's different levels of pressure though, isn't it? I mean, like I said, you've got the pressures of having millions of pounds worth of kit to your name, the pressures of you being the only person that's like the in-between between what's happening on the ground and what's happening back there. That's pressure. Then there's the other side of pressure is you've got 10 young girls working for you, you've got coffee shops, you've got stock. Do you know what I mean?
Which is
it's just pressure, it just moves around.
Which is less stressful. Being on ops, with UKSF.
Ops.
What more so than dealing with those people?
Honestly, I haven't had that much stress. Throw a few kids in the mix.
Yeah.
I've never been, like I said, I've never really had a breakdown, been quite strong mentally. And it's only since having all this happening around. I honestly think it's easier just being in the military.
Yeah.
Even though you get those high pressure situations and stuff. But yeah, I've never felt that level of stress before.
It's crazy. You know, someone that looks up to you and what you've achieved like this. And when you've told me some of the things that have happened before, it's like, Jesus, can this guy catch a break? And it's
it's constant. Once it starts, you do feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why me?
Literally, why me? Like, and it's but also like the businesses give us the freedom to, no one's telling us what to do, and we own our success. You know, if we're gonna make it, then it's because whatever we've done has made it so. You know, we are the result of the effort we put in. Unfortunately, other people can be a player in that either negatively or positively. But what I'd like to know now is what's a normal day for you? You know, we're here on a Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Thursday? Wednesday? Thursday.
That's nice, isn't it? Like,
So it's at a Thursday afternoon in a unit. And if you can see behind the cameras, it's just, we're sat in our warehouse full of stock, what's a normal day for you?
So a normal day now is, I'll sort of kids out in the morning. So I'll either drop them off school and nursery, or the other 2 days I'll be in the gym first thing. I have to get the training like first thing in the morning, sort of try and plan my week around my training. So yeah, I'm either in the gym first thing in the morning or dropping the kids off. Then I'm in the office. And then it's a bit of a mix now because I do a lot of SEO work privately. So I've got a few private clients, so I'm working on those, and then I'm dealing with like the contact coffee stuff, just what's sort of going on there, like new products, checking up on stock, looking at the marketing piece. So because I've got so much into marketing recently with the SEO and or the online piece, I'm trying to take all that experience learned back into contact coffee. So I'm sort of just keeping an eye on everything like that, seeing what we can do. And then obviously trying to build some other little projects that I'm trying to build up alongside. So I still think if you're entrepreneurial, the thing is never good enough. You always want to do something on the side.
Yeah.
I think that's good and bad, because obviously I think people say, your positivity and your attention should be on one thing, but there's always, why can't I just build that there?
And there's 24 hours in a day, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're the same as me. It's different having kids as well.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I'm not working like 16 hours a day, I'm like, what do? I get bored. I start getting a little bit, like, dare I say it, like depressed. Like, I need to be doing something all the time, like 5:30 in the morning. Although today, I'm not going to lie, I got out of bed at 8 o'clock. And I looked at my watch and I thought, nah. Luke's got you sent me a voice note. I went back to bed for half an hour. But normally, you know, get up early, get going, getting stuff done. There's always been a lot of stress, and you've got a little one. How old is your little one at the moment?
So I've got two.
So
I've got a 5-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy.
How do you be a dad and a partner?
Yeah.
Dealing with the amounts of stress you have, like you said, a whole week, like you couldn't even remember where you were from, because you described it, a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
How can you be those other things whilst dealing with all of that?
I've no idea. I need to know the answer. I don't know. I think it's just one of them natural things. You just sort of step up, and I think it just happens. Like you said, if you think about it, if someone's like, right, you're gonna have a kid here and you're gonna do this, you'd be like, but if it just happens, sometimes in the military, you just deal with it. You get given a situation, you're just like, this is us now. This is what you've got to do. But there's times where it does all just compound. Like I said, like the past 2 months, you know what's happened the past 2 months, and then all that's happened. And then you've still got a home, you've still got the kids, you've still got swimming lessons, you've still got to go shopping. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've still got to do all this stuff. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It just makes your life a bit more interesting.
I don't know how you do it, honestly. I think
get to
anyone
the end
that's
of
a
some
parent
weeks,
is...
I've got no idea. Again, there's those sort of weeks. Yeah, people step in and they got a good network around you. We wouldn't be able to do it on our own, but yeah, I think you just deal with it, mate. I think everyone would, even if you sit there and think, I could never do that. You
find a way.
It just happens, yeah. I think it's just instinct.
And something I touch on briefly from that is we always find a way. And I don't want to set anything off with you. Sometimes as with myself, sometimes the guys and girls, they don't, do they?
Yeah.
They don't endure. Has that ever been something that's crossed your mind, or any friends that have not been able to endure themselves and are no longer here?
Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Luckily, no. I'm very lucky that no one close has gone that way. I think that period, that week that we spoke about, I really struggled that week, and I think that's what scared me the most, is because I got to mid-30s, like perfect. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't even entertain like any sort of thought like that, and then that sort of happening and that thought being in there was just lasted about 8 months. Really, it was a really, really strange period, and I think that's what that scared me a little bit. To answer your question, yeah, I'm lucky that no one around has sort of gone that way. But yeah, very aware that it's happening. Very aware that it's getting a bit closer. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, okay, I recognise that name. Yeah. But, actually, I remember him like from back in 40. Do you know what I mean? It's it's a scary time with stuff like that. I just think if everyone's there to support each other, and I think it's actually taking it as well. Like I said, when you're in that situation, everyone's offering the hand. You don't want to take it. It's probably a bit of personal pride thing, a bit of an ego thing. You're like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
We use you as an example, you know, and it's not quite the same, but in shutting a coffee shop down, like, better to swallow your pride and your business survive. And if you don't flip that to anyone that is suffering or struggling, like, just swallow your pride and...
Well, that's it, yeah.
You know, the world's a better place with everyone in it, isn't it? So
exactly.
It's,
100%.
On that as well, have you got any advice for your younger self? What if you were now with that guy, he's 20 years old, getting down to Livingston, knowing a roller coaster, and we'll call it a roller coaster of what life's going to be.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice that you'd give your younger self?
I think talk. Never talked until last year. Just generally, I don't know if that's a bloke thing or a personal thing, but yeah, I think the talking thing helps. I think it's that cliche, and it's hard when you're in that situation because they're like, you just need to talk to someone. You're like, just fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not the right time to talk, but I think just talking if anything, I found it easier talking to people that I didn't know. I found it hard talking to people like, and I say like your mates are always there and stuff like that. People work differently. But for me, I found it easier walking into a room with a circle of chairs, people I never knew. And I've probably told them strangers more things than I'd ever tell missus, my mates, my parents. So I think just find what's right for you, but I think the talking bit helps. But just work out what works for you, because everyone's different.
Brilliant. Like that's a piece of advice. Would you change anything from your life, anywhere, at any point? Military, Contact Coffee?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'd change anything from my life. I think business-wise, yeah. Like, yeah, in hindsight and stuff. But there'd have been impossible decisions, because what I know now, I didn't know then. So realistically, I couldn't have done anything. But I think, again, too technical and into it, but I think I'd have reinvested more into the core business as opposed to trying to grow too quickly. I think, yeah, I'd have just concentrated on the one main thing being the online, and just keep reinvesting into that, and definitely outsourcing to people that are better than you. Yeah, which I've only just learned realistically the past 5 months.
And if we go to the military again, like why would you go on ops and try and drive the vehicle yourself, breach the door yourself, and do your own comms?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then for business, why would we do our own emails? Why would we do our own ads? Why would we do our own content? We shouldn't,
because your ego and you're trying to save cash.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's not nice.
It's hard though.
It's not easy spending cash.
Yeah, and do you still see like Contact Coffee's money as like that? That's your money. Like I'm spending my money on that. What if it doesn't work?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when the overheads start getting bigger. But I think you've got to take a little bit of risk. I think now I'm probably a bit more educated of that risk.
And to be like, at the end of the day, and it's easy to say because I think we've both been here, we've both had highs and lows. It's fair to say like it is only money.
Yeah.
We've got our health. Yeah. We've got our families.
Exactly.
If the business, God forbid, didn't work, then we've still got those things, you know, and we'd just reset, realign and re-engage in something different. It'd be devastating, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't.
I think that's where I've got now. I had this conversation last night, really, is that I think, again, with like Combat Fuel, you say it's yours, it's part of you. And there's a bit of like ego thing, you don't want it to fail. I think now that I've passed all that the past year and just being a bit more black and white about it is, if it didn't happen, I actually think I'd be pretty content just to go, right, that was that, draw a line under it, right, what's a new project? I think I've become not distant from it, but I think I understand that it's just, well, yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a business, it's just money. I can go and do something else. Yeah. And I think that's probably encouraged a bit more strategic risk taking. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Which ultimately allows for even more growth. So it's, you know, I'm glad these bad things have happened to you because it's allowed you to step into it. And, you know, Contact Coffee is not a little small coffee shop selling, I used the wrong way there, didn't I? You know what I mean?
I know you mean.
You're not selling a bag of coffee a day, you know, like there's still hundreds of orders going out constantly, which is fantastic to see. Yeah. Selfishly now, we are going to be like, I use your products. You also use a few of ours, especially if you're running. What do you use and why?
Oh, you've said this because I can't say it. Cycling dextrin.
Cyclic dextrin.
Yeah, that's the one that I use. I use that all the time. So yeah, I've been using it for all the ultra stuff. So I was using that, hydrate, and also creatine. I'm using the flavoured one now.
I love it. Yeah, we're such princesses now.
Actually, and I've got the biscuit brown protein that I've been having every night.
That's good.
In my
jammy biscuit, but it's biscuit brown and jam.
Biscuit brown.
It's biscuit brown and jam.
So yeah, but yeah, mainly that's cyclic. That one. That's the best. That's honestly the best one I've used. Good, so I use that all for my ultras. That and real meal as well. So I thought it was quite nice.
another veteran owned as well, aren't they? Yeah. Good company. Nice to see veterans doing something that's different. I'm not going to say anything else on that. It's just nice to see veterans doing something that's different and innovative, you know, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Where can people find Contact Coffee? You know, like it's pretty obvious, but we've got to say it anyway.
My SEO head on, go into Google, type in sort of Contact Coffee or any sort of term. But yeah, online, you can obviously buy through our Instagram shop. We're also on Shopify shop. yeah, through Facebook, all our links. So yeah, just generically online, contactcoffee.com.
Nice. Any future plans for Contact Coffee for a physical store again?
After all that conversation, I do keep thinking, especially when you walk into this place now and you're like, oh, that'd be all right if we could do this. But no, there's no appetite for that now, I don't think. Always open for conversations with other people, but yeah, I think again, just concentrate on what we know. And
perhaps like doing your own fulfillment with a coffee shop in the front of it.
That was always the plan. But yeah, I'm not closing that down. Yeah, again, a similar setup to what you've got here, but just have a coffee shop at the front. Of it not being someone pops in, they can have a coffee, try the coffee. But yeah, at the minute it's just solely online, as travel and fight as light as we can. Yeah, just keep driving.
And it's awesome. Luke, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you again for your service. Taking the time out of your busy day to come down here for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.